hate, we don't care. JJ and Mengkin here to share. Sumo talk, ain't no flair. Lazy vibes in the air. Might go stumble through. Sumo tales just for you. No script, no cue.
Hello, and
Hello.
welcome to Minimum Effort Podcast.
Minimum
a
Effort
podcast.
Podcasts with.
Why do you always do this? Why?
I don't always do it. What are you talking about? I don't always
You do it so frequently that it feels like all the time.
It's like I'm trying to do it all the time. Yeah.
Go for it.
I'm Mengkin, the better co-host, and that is JJ, the other co-host.
That's right. It's me, JJ, the other co-host. And I think that we should talk about history.
History.
Yes. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm black.
Say what?
You're
I know.
black, JJ?
I know.
I had not noticed. I don't see the color of people's skin. Sorry, I tried to say it and it sounded very ridiculous.
No, because that is exactly what every problematic white person says.
Yeah.
Is they'll say, "Oh, I don't see color." You're lying. You're lying. It's okay. It's all right.
I see color. You don't judge people by color. That's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Right. And I'm just gonna say that Black history is important to me. And I'm surrounded by greatness. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but the first Black woman to ever win a medal on the international stage is my wife, Christina Griff. Yes, in sumo. This is a sumo podcast, all right? It's a sumo podcast. Not a political podcast. It's a sumo podcast, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Is my wife, Christina
wife?
Griffin Jones. Yes. I don't know if you know this also, but the second one is a member at our club, Ashley Smallwood.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I surround myself with greatness. We might be mediocre, right? We might literally do minimum effort. Some would say minimum effort to the max. And
Some
AI
would.
said that.
Not me.
Not us. But we surround ourselves with amazing, strong people. And Black History Month is important. I want you to know something. Did you know the MLK holiday, MLK Day? That's a holiday, correct? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure. Also, people just know that Mengkin is an international fellow. He's an international fellow, and he's everywhere in the world. Right now, he's in Wales. He basically grew up in Japan. He spent a little bit of time in America.
During this recording, I'm in Wales. Let's just make that
during this particular recording. So, American holidays might be something that just goes over his head. Now, MLK Day was a hard holiday to get as a national holiday.
Mm-hmm. It was only quite recently, hasn't it been?
Yes.
No, not
quite
recent. Right? Yeah.
Like Arizona was like, no. But I just found out that Mississippi did a little workaround. So they have MLK Day.
The blackest state in the country that's run by
the most racist people ever. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what they also did, and hear me out. That same day is Robert E. Lee Day.
Oh.
Mengkin, go ahead and explain who Robert E. Lee is.
He was a Confederate general.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So white people and black people can celebrate on the same day.
Correct.
About two opposite types of people.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And with that being said, I love how, you know, the world has, when I say the world, I mean America. I'm really only talking about America, right? They want to focus in on, oh, MLK wasn't that good of a guy. He was out there having orgies. I'm sorry. That's just like, you know.
Do people say that?
To talk about every president that had something going on, right? Like, you guys still like JFK, right? Like, we're not going to talk about that stuff. Or we're going to talk about Thomas Edison and what he wants or what he had. Huh? Or you talk about
Thomas
that?
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. Are you talk about any of those people?
Andrew Jackson. Yeah.
Andrew Jackson. Right? No. You want to derail a black man, right? Like, that's just what it's about. And again, this is not a political podcast. This is a sumo podcast. This is a sumo podcast
where we celebrate our black women in sumo and our black people in sumo.
Yeah.
As well as everybody else.
Everyone.
We celebrate everybody. We celebrate everybody no matter who they are.
Exactly. But I just wanted to make sure that, you know, you understand the temperature of the world. So I'm not sure what happened at Google, because it was a weird little update where it took all the it took Black History out of my calendar. There was no do you want to do this? Do you I don't know what's happening. Yeah, what's the other stuff that they took out, Mr. Mengkin?
Oh, I can't remember. I just remember seeing a headline saying they took out MLK Day and Black History Month and some other stuff. What is it? What is Columbus Day known as now? Indigenous
People Day.
Yeah, they took that out, I think, too, as well.
Yeah, which is weird, right? It's weird. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but it automatically also
Do you see Gulf of America?
I mean, that was exactly what I was about to say. We definitely got Gulf of America.
You know, in the UK, it's Gulf of Mexico. In brackets, it's Gulf of America.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me show you that.
Oh, where are we at? I don't see it yet.
Wait, where is it?
I don't know, man. You froze in the weirdest spot possible.
Oh nope, yeah.
All right. So let me just share my
because
screen.
I moved my phone. That's giving me.
Oh, that's streaming. That's funny.
Yeah.
All right. So let's check it out. Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're at. I don't understand why that had to be a thing. Now, hear me out. What I will say is it is a Gulf in North America. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know what it was really about. It wasn't a
mm-hmm.
Oh man.
A boot.
A boot. I have to always say that every so often to remember that my Canadian brethren are up there.
A boot.
Right? A brute.
No, it's more like a oot, not oot. Oot.
Oot?
A boot.
A boot?
A boot.
A boot. A boot.
Out in a boat. A boat. In a boat. Out in a boat. Out in a boat.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what's happening to this country right now. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know.
That's why I don't live there. That's why I don't live in a crazy country.
Is that the reason you don't live in America?
That's part of the reason.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and speak your truth. I actually want to know why you don't.
Well, I just, it wasn't for me. I tested it out twice. I was in 2 different states, and it just wasn't for me.
You're what, in California, Michigan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got
What?
that Midwest experience and that West Coast experience, California experience, man.
So yeah,
It
it's
wasn't for me.
interesting. It's interesting, right? That your sensibilities kind of work more for. Wait, do your sensibilities work for the UK, or is that just where love is?
I don't know. This is where love is. It's fine. Wales is fine. It's nothing. I don't have any. I find some things weird, but like,
Okay.
I can't give you specifics right now because my brain's not working so well. But there's always something I'm like, this country is weird.
Right.
Oh, I think I might have mentioned this before. The usage of the like you see sometimes on Instagram as a meme, countries that there's a map that says countries that uses metric system or
Yeah.
imperial, right? So most countries uses metric system, US uses imperial, and then there's one that says countries that say they use metric system but are liars. And the UK is a liar because everything is in miles.
Is it?
I'm not joking. No, like they say they use a metric system, but all the road signs and everything's in miles.
Interesting. Okay, see,
Yeah.
that's funny. That's funny because I would have known.
Yeah, it's like, why are you doing that? Like, people don't even know how to, like, they don't know what miles are, they don't know what kilometers are because, like, they don't focus on you learn the metric system at school, but then once you leave it, it's all in imperial.
It's all imperial.
Plus stones. Plus stone. What is a stone?
What is a stone?
I don't know. 20 pounds to a stone? I don't know. 8 pounds to a stone? 12 pounds to a stone? I'm not sure.
Huh. Yeah. So, yeah, I need to figure out what a stone is because different stones weigh different things. But you know what? That's just they messed up because they can't use pounds the right way.
There's other things too, but I don't know. The US definitely wasn't for me.
Not for you.
Like
That's fine.
I miss doing sumo and I miss, like food and some stuff, but like I never grew up in the US, right? I only lived in the US a total of 6 years.
Right. So I think
not
that
really for me.
the US, I'm not even sure if the US makes sense for me, but this is what I got. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I feel like if I could just get up and easily just transfer to a different place and everything all works, I'd probably just bounce.
Nothing's easy.
But it's a lot
Nothing's
more
easy
complicated than that. Nothing's easy. I'm not saying it's easy for you, but it is a little easier.
Well, for me, it's easy for me to
It's
go
actually
to Japan
harder
and go
for
to
you to
US.
be in America, right? It's harder for you to be in America than to be in Japan.
Like what whys are you talking? Like
just
social?
like your family's in Japan.
I don't have like
so
I have like cousins and aunts and uncles and like my brother, but that's it, right? It's like everybody else is in Asia, so I'm the furthest away from because I've always lived in a country where I mean, even the US, even though it's massive, I always lived in a country where I was related to someone somehow.
okay, yeah.
And this is the first time I've lived anywhere far from anybody I'm related to.
Is that difficult on you?
I don't know. I think it's not that difficult since I'm not just here because to get away from stuff, right? I'm here with someone I want to be with, right?
Right.
And
so you still have like
that,
an anchor,
yeah,
and someone
so
you
it's not
love
like
and
nothing at all. Yeah,
right.
It's not like I'm an immigrant that's going to a completely different country that I know nothing about. At least I speak the same language.
So it's kind of like a unique situation. I find it fascinating. I had a couple friends that back in the day, they were, I don't know how to say this where it's not political, but they were tired of being black in America. Right? They're just over it. And at the time, you could I don't remember exactly how it worked, but you could go to the UK. I don't think you could be a citizen, but it was still within that weird colony thing where if you were from a colony, you could kind of stay longer, permanent residency kind of deal. It was something weird. It was a weird thing. So he was out there for like 10 years and he found it more. It's because it was a little bit more straightforward with like the haves and the have-nots kind of situation. Like oh, these people are royalty instead of these people are just like, what do they do? I don't know. Right? It was just a different thing. I found it fascinating, but at the same time, it sounded like it was still torture for him. So it didn't really. He came back to America, which I guess speaks to it, maybe. But he also went there for love too, a little bit, you know.
Okay, I think the easiest transition for any like Americans, as maybe Black Americans too. I don't know if Americans in general, Black Americans. I think Canada is probably the easiest transition because
I do love me some Canada.
It's very similar. It's North America, and it has similar culture because it developed similarly, and a lot of Americans at some point moved to Canada, right?
Right.
But it's also not America. I think that's
Correct.
usually the easiest transition, I think, for anybody that's American, really.
There are other countries. There's this whole like
Liberia.
They call it Blexit, the black exit of America. I know. So they have a map where they're like, oh, these particular places, right? And I think Venezuela was one of those that were pretty good for us. Ecuador was a pretty solid spot. There's a few other spots, and I've always thought like, oh man, that would be cool. But man, it's so hard. So hard. You have to, there's so many moving parts. And I think if you're younger, it's easier, right? Because you don't have any real anchors.
Like you and Christina have, you know, NPOs, you have all these businesses, all these like things you have to do. It's difficult. You own property. It's not easy to put that aside or figure out what to do with that and leave. For me, it's not that difficult. I don't own anything. I don't own anything. I don't have a business. I don't have anything. So I can just, it's still difficult, but I can move if I want to at this point. Right. Yeah.
Interesting. Are you going to have a farm in Wales?
No, I'm not going to have a farm. I don't want to farm sheep. If I were to have a farm, I would farm like vegetables. I'll do like produce, not sheep.
Why not?
I don't want to. It's a lot of work. Like at least for produce, there's, depending on what you make, you have time off. If you have sheep, you're always working.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's
Livestock,
true.
you're always working.
Livestock, you're always working because they're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's got to feed them. Somebody's got to watch them.
Interesting. But you would get really strong.
I'm all right. I don't need to do that.
All right.
You can do that. You want to buy some land up here?
I don't speak the language.
You speak English.
Yeah, but they speak Welsh.
Pretty much everybody in Wales. I think everybody in Wales speaks English.
I don't know. I've heard their English. Sometimes it's hard.
Oh, Mr. JJ.
Hey, I am me. All right. You know what? This has been a very interesting episode where we got to know each other pretty well, right? And
I don't know, Jay. You didn't get as spicy as you said you would.
I mean, I was a little spicy towards the beginning, but then the spice miled out. And it's because we found a thread of something that really intrigued me. So I just wanted to go a little bit more. So remember, guys, Black History Month is here to stay forever. Every month is Black History Month. Every month is for everyone. And I don't care what Google or what the president of the United States, his garbage ass, says. We can do whatever we want. We are the people. It is power to the people, and the people is us. Thank you.
Power to the people.
Never effort to the max. Sumo wrestling, no tracks. JJ and Mengkin, just relax. Life unfolds with chill acts. Legend falls and strives. Sumo tales bring you lives. We just chat, no surprise. Lost in stories that thrive. No edits, no fuss. Sumo tales just for us. In this groove we trust. It's the lazy talk.